I should maybe start with introducing myself. I'm Yolanda Hedberg. I'm originally from Germany. I have been working in Sweden at KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm for 13 years. And since about 4 years, I'm in Canada and at Western University. But right now I'm in Delft in the Netherlands for a sabbatical. So I'm all over the world, which is fitting well with this international program. And I'm a Canada researcher in corrosion science. I'm also the director of the CORrect program, which I will show you what it is, and of this mentorship program. Noemi Odd is also on the author list here because she is my correspondent collaborator at the European Federation of Corrosion. And we do a lot of activities together, including this mentorship program. And Nargis, you will hear her a little bit later as well, but she is also our program coordinator. So you probably have gotten emails from her about the mentorship program. Okay, that's enough for this slide. So the motivation is that, and maybe I should, Nargis, you have started the recording, did you?
Yes, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So, So the overall motivation for both the bigger CORrect corrosion training program and also this mentoring program is that we need more talent in the corrosion field. It has been said many times that we have too little corrosion knowledge in all the engineering disciplines, but also the science and also at the universities. And you might have heard that, but we have up to 16% of our gross domestic product is related to corrosion failures. And we could at least save 30% of that big money if we would apply the knowledge we already have. So training in corrosion is really key. But if you look globally, especially in the Western world, we have maybe one corrosion professor that is mainly doing corrosion in one country. And that is far too little. So we need to get more corrosion expertise out there in all kinds of fields. And this mentoring program is aimed at retaining more people in the corrosion field and helping them. And not only more people, but also especially the ones that traditionally have been excluded, because if you look into historical exclusionary practices in the universities, there have been many, probably a lot of examples that are very specific to countries, but all over the world there have been exclusionary practices for women. So in most of the countries of the world, women have been excluded from university education for until maybe 100 years ago. And then there have been other specific exclusionary practices. For example, in Canada, Black persons were actively excluded to go to the medical school. And that has changed now, but it has only changed recently. And those exclusionary practices still remain until today. So both actively or unconsciously. And this is why we need to help previously excluded people especially. And a mentoring program is very powerful for that. And the last reason why we need a mentoring program is that when you have a more diverse group, so different types of perspectives in a group, it has been shown that this group works much more effectively. So for example, if you have a more diverse group in a startup company, they have proven higher success rates. If you have more diverse people in a university, they are better and more successful scientifically. So from that perspective, it's also important, because if you have a corrosion-based company or organization and it's only one certain type of people, it is going to be less successful. Okay. So the CORrect program is actually funded by the Canadian Federal Research Funds for 6 years. We are now in year 3. And It has a lot of international partners, including all big corrosion associations, including the European Federation of Corrosion, AMPP, the World Corrosion Organization, and the Electrochemical Society. And so it is an international program, but the funding is only from Canada, which means that the funding can only go to Canadian students, except for activities. So we cannot directly give funding to someone elsewhere, but we can let them participate in training. So this is what we do. And I should say there is other funding possibilities to come to Canada if that is of interest from quite many countries. And we have some of those summarized on our webpage. And the overall goal is to enhance corrosion education while also promoting equity, diversity, and societal awareness, and also to improve the job readiness of students pursuing careers in corrosion science. So you see here our international academic partners and the corrosion associations, and within Canada we have 8 participating universities and a number of companies and non-governmental organizations. So the total correct program consists of 6 different elements. One is a graduate course that connects corrosion, equity, diversity, environment, and societal aspects. So it wants to have the corrosion engineers understanding how they impact society so that they better can communicate and better can design their projects. We have, and that is the CDIS course, and then the one that is called CSI is the Summer Corrosion Science Institute, which is a summer school, and that offers professional and technical topics. So we increase the job readiness of graduates. We have also a lot of corrosion awareness campaigns where we try to attract people to the field of corrosion and get them interested in corrosion topics. And we have the biggest money flow that is going to Corrosion Science Exchange. So that is basically Canadian students of the 8 universities that then get funding to go somewhere else, to another university, to another country, to an industry or another sector for learning more. And then the mentoring program is the last element, and we will today only talk about that. So we call the mentoring program CORmentor program, and it has been running for, so this is the 2nd time it's running. And I have the evaluation of first last year. There are some animations that I didn't notice. So the first year, which was last year, we had 50 pairs of mentors and mentees. So mentors are the more senior ones and mentees are the ones that want to learn. And it can be any age. So anyone could have, probably anyone in any career stage needs a mentor, but could also be could also mentor someone else in a lower career stage. So some of our mentors or mentees were actually both of the roles. The last year was from 16 countries that included 9 European countries: Canada, Colombia, Ghana, Nigeria, India, Qatar, and Iran. And the instructions were that they should have met 4 times a year, approximately, and they had to submit ongoing meeting logs or evaluation. And we also offered online workshops on electrochemistry, good leadership, imposter syndrome, scientific writing, corrosion industry career opportunities, resumes, and academic career. And we have, so the next round for CORmentor applications will open in the fall for 2025. And this is the evaluation from last year. So I sent out the request for the exit survey only once in July, and I got back 8 mentees and 14 mentor responses out of 50 possible for each. That's a response rate of between 18 and 28%, but it was enough for me to make this evaluation, so I didn't bug them again. The finding that more mentors were responding is actually something we noted throughout the entire program. So mentors were generally more engaged than mentees. It was more difficult to get mentees responding or doing anything than mentors, which is showing that we have a very good mentor pool. The overall experience of both mentees and mentors was generally positive. And when we asked if they would have liked to meet more or less, all the mentees said they wanted to meet more often. And all the mentors said that also in the majority, but some of them said also less often. So you can see that they may be a little bit more overloaded. But I should say, the 4 times per year is just a guideline, you can meet more often if you want, if both agree. Oh, and I should also say that we encourage you and your mentor or mentee to only do this for 1 year. If you want to continue, you can apply again, but we would rematch you to someone else. The reason is that you can informally continue to mentor each other. It's not for us, it's only important that you get into a mentorship program once. Actually, it is shown by research that mentorship programs are not the ideal one. If you have someone reaching out to their favorite mentor on their own initiative, it's usually working much better. So if you find your dream mentor or mentee, then just continue on your own. And that will work. But you don't need us for that. So we need new rematching mentors and mentees. It's also because we want you to get more experience. Good. Then some positive experiences we got from mentees were that there was a great mentor match, that they could share experience with a real corrosion expert. And this is really the benefit of this program, that it is about corrosion. It's usually because corrosion is so isolated usually in all the countries. It's very difficult to find other corrosion experts within your local area. So you have to have programs like this to actually talk to someone in your field that is more senior or in a good distance in terms of career. The guidance was tailored. There was a good organization, someone said. The platform was good, the networking was good, and the mentor support, of course. Mentors, they said they got rewarding chats. They were able to offer advice, which felt rewarding. They were able to connect with young engineers, meeting new people, learning from them, getting international insights, meeting interesting people. And it was also rewarding to see the mentee succeed. In terms of improvement, so it was difficult to get the meeting times together. This is a major issue. They're busy people. Usually the people that sign up for these programs are already busy, both the mentors and the mentees. And you have to have some time management or technical skills to actually get meeting times together, maybe over different time zones or different organizations. So yeah, we will come back to that. There should have been more reminders. We will do that this year. And there should have been a presentation at the end, and also specific topics for meetings, more add-ons. But I should say that the people that said more add-ons probably didn't go to the workshops we actually offer. So it's always a two-side story. The mentors also said more structure is needed. The one said was the mentee forced to participate, and this is something we changed this year, so we didn't force anyone. Last year we forced all the Canadian corrosion students because that was part of our grant, but since they already did it, they don't have to do it again. And a general meeting in the beginning would be helpful, so this is what we do now. And the reminders would be helpful, as well as in-person connection. So there was another positive feedback was that the types the mentees got was advice for courses, establish boundaries and contribute in a valuable way in the profession, the presentation skills, correction of experimental mistakes. So that happened actually quite a lot because they are in the same corrosion areas. Hearing about grad study experiences was helpful for the mentees that maybe were grad study students, and personal and leadership development. This, I would say, is really important for mentorship programs. So don't underestimate that. The mentors said they also learned a lot from the mentees. For example, that today it is a much more long and arduous job hunt than when they were young, which is kind of interesting. They also noted how important the mentorship was for the mentees. And international insights again. And they also noted the pressure that the employees are working under, which is interesting. So you can learn a lot from both sides. When we looked at the relationship of the mentors and the mentee, this is what we got. So this is a word cloud that shows what they answered in text fields, and the maximum rating was 10. And you see that the mentor rates the mentee on average 8.5, and the mentee rates the mentor on average 9, which is really high. Yes. And then what did they talk about? So there was a lot of career progress, work-life balance, different challenges, and those 3 types were most often mentioned. I think it is really helpful to talk about your career challenges with someone who is not, whom you are not directly dependent on, but who understands your field. So that might actually be the most important. And then in this program, we had one of the reasons why we wanted to do this program is to retain people in the corrosion field, because we have a dropout of people from corrosion away, especially the people that do not traditionally belong to this field. And so for us, it was really important to ask them if they feel more or less belonging to the corrosion field. And this result is shown here. And you see a significant increase of the mentees. So the mentees said much more often that they feel more belonging to the corrosion field. And nobody, by the way, said that they feel less corrosion to the less belonging to the corrosion field. All of them said they felt more or same, and the mentees felt significantly higher belonging, which is really good because that was what we wanted to achieve. But of course, we don't know if it was because of us. So let's go to what this year mentorship program is about and which kind of resources and structure we have. So for that, I don't know, Nagis, if you want to take this part. It's your slide.
Okay, sure. So I just wanted to say that for the mentorship program, please visit our website, and there are all of the information that Yolanda just mentioned right now and more. You can find it in our website. For example, the purpose of this program, the structure of it, the guidelines, the matching procedure, everything, you can find it here. And also, there are some helpful tools that you can use during this program. The first one, as you can see it in this slide, the first one is the general inquiries tool. So if you have any questions or general concerns, you can send it that way, and we will try to respond to you as soon as possible in 2-3 days. And then the next one is the letter of commitment and the code of conduct, which is very important. Please fill it. It's just a signed form. And I should mention that only 9 people out of 34 mentor and mentees that we are having this year have been filled this form so far. So if you haven't, please go through it and fill it. And it will just take about 5 minutes. And you can find it in our website or the email that I sent you. And another thing that we have is the meeting log panel, as Yolanda mentioned before. So please fill it after each session. both mentees and mentors should feel it. This is a way for us to keep track of the meetings and be sure that everything is fine and going well, and you have the meetings going on. And also another important tool is the whistleblowing tool. So if you experience any unethical, illegal, or harmful activities during this program, during the meetings, that will affect the CORmentor program or kind of like any well-being of the participants, you can report it through this tool and let us know. And another thing here that you can see is the request for reassignment. So we tried our best to match you with the best possible option. But if you think that this matching is not very effective for you, each of you, yep, like each mentee and mentor can apply through this tool and request for a reassignment. And we will try to find you a better match if it was possible. And also, please keep in mind that we try our best to find you the best possible mentor based on our list, but and also your applications and your interest. But it's not always possible to find you someone who meets all of your requirements and preferences, and certain qualities or expertise might not be available at the moment. So we encourage you to approach to the mentorship with an open mind and make the most out of it, and by learning as much as you can from your mentor. And I just wanted to mention that the main goal of this program is to help you to explore better career options, expand your networking skills and your soft skills, and broaden your horizons. So this slide is done.
Okay, I need to unmute me first, and then I need to go. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So, and this is important. We want you to. So we have the next summer school in collaboration with the European Federation of Corrosion. So we will have a hybrid event. There were a lot of questions. Can we come to the summer school? You could come to the summer school. We don't have funding for people come outside of the 8 universities that are participating in Canada. But if you would be at those 8 universities, you could apply right now for the open call for Corrosion Research and Training Experience Award. That's also on our website. But if you're outside of those 8 universities, there's no funding to come to this summer school. But the summer school is free and it is also online. So we have a hybrid event, and that's because we are also having all the Europeans attending at the same time. So during the European morning, they have their own seminar and their own lectures online, because Europe is also big and they also don't have it in person. And during the European afternoon, we have a joint session, and that includes ethics related to nuclear corrosion and storage, to oil and gas, to the cultural heritage is only in Europe because the Canadians are going to the Niagara Falls, and we actually look at the hydropower plant behind it. That's the plan. We still need to fix that. And we also have a session on ethics related to machine learning and artificial intelligence in corrosion and corrosion publishing. We have really important and good panel members already and secured, and great lecturers. So you should definitely, if you want to get more connected with the corrosion community, this is really important. You will notice that when you apply for this, so the pre-registering is open. You see the link here. It is free. There is a punishment fee if you don't come. If you would come in person, because we have catering costs and we don't want to have too much food because people are not showing up. But for the ones that are hybrid, it doesn't matter. And we also have professional and career development sessions. Yes, so it is good. It's between 9th and 14th of June. You should really go if you want to learn, get to know more of the corrosion community. That's this. And I should say, this is also an opportunity to meet each other. even if it's online or in breakout sessions of Zoom, because we have got the request that the mentorship program should also have bigger events where mentees and mentors can meet together. This is one of them. We also try to organize CORmentor meetups at all the bigger corrosion conferences, but we are not always everywhere. So, yeah. This is just the summary from the previous presentation from last year. So it was in general a success. It was difficult to recruit people to actually do it. It's always difficult to recruit people to do anything. So there is a activation barrier for people, but the people that actually did it were very happy with it. So please take the opportunity seriously. If you have already got a mentor or mentee but haven't heard back from them yet, try to contact them again. We will act, I think that might be on the next slide. We will act after end of January because that's their deadline. If there's still no contact, I will try to contact them directly because sometimes the emails are in the junk email or they don't recognize the name or something like that. So I will try to contact them. And if that is also not working, then we could try to reassign. You can also already advertise the next CORmentor round. It will open in fall 2025. And these are the first type of questions we get most frequently. How to contact mentors and mentees. Maybe, Nargis, you want to say something about those as well?
So for this, you can just send an email to them. I already sent their emails to you with the first email that I sent you. So you have their emails. You can email them. And for the meetings, it's completely depends on you how you want to have your meetings. You can have it on Zoom or any other portals that you can find. Like you can call or you can, if there is a possibility, you can visit them in person. So it completely depends on you. And if you're unable to contact them, as Yolanda mentioned, you can just let us know and we will try to contact them ourselves and then connect them with you. And yeah, for the next question, Yolanda mentioned already, if you're not hearing from your mentor or mentee by the end of the January, please let us know. We'll try to contact them, or if it was impossible, find a new person for you. And the next question is there any fund to visit the Mentors Lab? Unfortunately, we don't provide any fundings for visiting the Mentors Lab, and this is not a part of the program. But if you are from one of the 8 universities in Canada, you can apply for the CRT award, and then with that award, there is a mobility option that you can go to another university or industry, and then with that you can probably can go and visit the mentors lab. And
I should say there is we don't provide funds for other universities outside of those 8, but there are other programs. In Canada, there is MyTex. In Germany, there is DAAD. In a lot of African countries, there is something called Global Affairs Canada. In South American countries, there's another program. So, and we have all those listed on our webpage. There are actually quite few countries that don't have any options. So there is, and there might be more that we just don't know about. So in terms of mobility grants to visit a mentors lab, in most of the countries, there is a lot of funding. You just need to look for it.
Yeah, and the next question was about the summer school through if there is any final or invitation letter for it. So Yolanda already go through it. So no, there is no fund for it except if you are from one of the 8 Canadian universities and you can apply for a CRT. And since it is a hybrid event and you can join via Zoom, we cannot provide invitation letter to come here to Canada and to join for the summer school. And yeah, please ask if you have any questions about this program.
Yeah, so I will stop share and we can stop the recording and then everyone can ask the
Sure.
questions freely. Yeah.